Guys, it's Nicole. I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be about a series. So I have so many things planned, so many types of books that I want to talk about. I'm currently reading a classic that I'm very excited to make a video about, but I'm not done with it yet, so hang on tight and that video will be coming soon. But today I thought I would talk about a series that I read very recently within this last year, and it feels like the good time to talk about it because it's very seasonal. Like, there's books in this series that are perfect for every season. And so since we're in the middle of autumn and we're getting into those, well, for those of you that live where you have seasons, getting into those colder days, I thought I would talk about this series. So this video is going to be about the Dream Harbor series, and for those of you who have never heard of this, it's honestly a romance series, and the beautiful thing about this is that each book is actually about a different couple all living in the same small town. So the reason it's very good and seasonal is each book really has its own season. So the first book is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. The second book is the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. The third book is the Christmas Tree Farm. The fourth book is the Strawberry Pancake House. And then the most recent book that came out is the Gingerbread Bakery. So there are books for a lot of different seasons in this series. And the other great part of this series is that you don't have to read it in order. So you can read, like, to be perfectly honest, I found this series through the Strawberry Pancake House, and this is the first book I read. And you could do that. You can actually just read it in whatever order you want, because like I said, each book is about a different couple just in the same small town. So it doesn't really matter which order you read it in, because when you read one of the books, there will be other characters mentioned besides the two main ones, and then the other books are about those other characters, so you don't have to read it in order, and I love that. It's such a fun, light-hearted series. It is romance, so yes, there are very sexually explicit chapters and words, so it is definitely not appropriate for children. I don't know what age it is appropriate for, like maybe 18 and up, maybe older and up. I feel weird like saying, yeah, like let teenagers read this, because it is very sexually explicit. Like, there are very, 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 as the book community calls it, smut-filled chapters. So do with that information as you like. But I really thought this was a great time to talk about this series. We're getting into the holidays. We're getting into the seasons that I love, at least. I love the later seasons of the year. I've seen lately that the last few months of the year are referred to as the Burr months, and I love that because I love all of these months, especially because my birthday is coming up, and I love that my birthday is in this season. It's amazing. But anyway, I'm getting like way sidetracked, but I am going to talk about the series like in the order it was written, just for context sake. But yes, you can read this series in whatever order you want. So the first book that was written that came out in this series that introduces the small town of Dream Harbor is called the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I think that Dream Harbor is supposed to be somewhere in New England in the US. I'm just gonna guess. It's a fictional town, and it's honestly, this is like Hallmark in book form. If you like Hallmark movies, I love watching Hallmark movies. Like, boy, you can just turn your brain off and just enjoy whatever silliness, romance, magical is gonna come out of a Hallmark movie. I love that stuff. And that's honestly this kind of series. It's one of the kinds of books that you can just sit there and enjoy the silliness, there's no stress, everything works out like a Hallmark movie, and sometimes I think we just need that, right? I mean, I know I do. So in a little bit of a context, this is the first book that came out, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm gonna read the back of it so that we get a little bit of context of what it's about. It does say at the top, a small town spicy romance, so in the book world, spicy does mean very sexual. And then further down it says, when Jeannie's aunt gifts her the beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the small town of Dream Harbor, Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs. But Jeannie's arrival disrupts Logan's routine, and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl, except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jeannie's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan? Or has this city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charm or her pumpkin spice lattes? So the beautiful thing about this is that, yes, it is like a Hallmark movie, but to me, it's like the best parts of the Hallmark movies, because if you're like me and you enjoy watching Hallmark Channel movies, they have a formula for how they make their stories, and typically it's always the city person, girl, guy, whatever, goes to a small town and decides to turn their whole life upside down because they fall in love with one of the locals and they give up everything that they had and knew just for this one person. And I think we all find problems with that because that's just not realistic. I think it's cute for one type of movie, but it happens in so many of their movies that, yes, we all make fun of it. And to me, this kind of takes the better parts of the movies and puts it into a book because, as it says on the back, Jeannie goes to this small town for herself. She wants to start over. She didn't like her life in the city, which is fine. A lot of people don't. I don't like life in the city. I like to be out in like the suburbs where there's like space. I'm not on top of everyone. And I think that it's a very realistic character attribute. And she wants to go out and she goes to the small town, and her aunt is the one that had the coffee shop. And she takes over the coffee shop being like, this is a fresh start for me. My life just wasn't going anywhere and it felt so boring and repetitive, and this can be like a whole fresh start for me. And then there's the bonus of her meeting somebody who might potentially be a good match for her. So to me, it takes the better parts of the Hallmark movies and puts them into a very fun, cute, definitely spicy romance book, and has some really great character development. The characters go on like journeys. We get both POVs. We get the point of view of Jeannie and of Logan, and that happens through all of the books. We get both POVs between the two romantic partners, and I love that. We get to see and hear both of their views, and yeah. So the next book in this series is super cute too, the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and yes, I was like, do they sell cinnamon buns in the bookstore? And yes, they do. So it's very appropriate that they name the bookstore in Dream Harbor the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. So on the back of this one, again, no spoilers because you can read these in any order. It's just all in the same universe. When a secret message turns up hidden in a book in the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, Hazel can't understand it. As more secret codes appear between the pages, she decides to follow the trail of clues. She just needs someone to help her out. Gorgeous and outgoing fisherman Noah is always up for an adventure, and a scavenger hunt sounds like a lot of fun. Even better that the cute bookseller he's been crushing on for months is the one who wants his help. Hazel didn't go looking for romance, but as the treasure hunt leads her and Noah around Dream Harbor, their undeniable chemistry might just be as hot as the fresh out of the oven cinnamon buns the bookstore sells. Adorable. I love it so much. Oh, before I go to the next book, what I also love that this author includes in the books is in each book, there is a little map of the town. So you can have some context as to where things are, like where the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is, where the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore is, like where people live. And I love that. It gives you a little bit of context. So the next book in the series, if you decide to read it in order, is The Christmas Tree Farm. Very perfect, coming up in December. So on the back of this one it says, Kira North, hilarious, her last name is North. Kira North hates Christmas. Of course she does. Which is unfortunate since she just bought a Christmas tree farm in a town that's too cute for its own good. Bennett Ellis is on vacation in Dream Harbor, trying to take a break from both his life and his constant desire to always fix things. But somehow fate finds Ben trapped by a blanket of snow at Kira's farm, and despite her grinchiest first impressions, with the glow of the fairy lights twinkling in the trees and the promise of a warming hot chocolate, maybe, just maybe, these two lost souls will have a Christmas they'll remember forever. Adorable. And then this is the first one that I found in the series. Again, very spicy. At the top of each of these on the back, it says a spicy small town romance. As a world-renowned chef, single dad Archer never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake house. But Dream Harbor needs a new chef, and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter. Iris has never managed to hold down a job, so when Mayor Kelly suggests Archer is looking for a live-in nanny, she almost runs in the opposite direction. Now Iris finds herself in a whole new world, one where her gorgeous new boss lives right across the hall and likes to cook topless, because of course he does. Keeping everything strictly professional should be easy, right? I love it so much. And then this is the most recent book that came out. It actually came out, I think, last month or this month. So I've just read this very recently. The Gingerbread Bakery. As owner of her beloved gingerbread bakery, Annie Andrews should have a love life to match her business, sugary and sweet. But instead, she's locked in a battle of wills with the irritatingly upbeat bar owner down the street. Max Sullivan has everything he wants, except the girl he dreams of. It's easier to argue with Annie than get her to talk to him, but with Jeannie and Logan's wedding coming up, they're about to spend a lot more time together. As the snowflakes fall and with romance in the air, will Annie see that the one she loves to hate might just be her perfect match after all? So that's the Dream Harbor series. It's just super cute. It's one of those series that you laugh at how silly and ridiculous it is, but it's just a nice take your mind off of things read. Especially if you like a little bit of spiciness in your books, as I'll put it. So for me, obviously the titles really caught my attention first off. I am going to start with the book that I saw first. The title is Adorable Strawberry Patch Pancake House. I saw where this was going immediately based on the title. But I love the covers. They're so cute and cozy. Like, look at this little pancake house. All of the greenery hanging there and the windows and the little table out front that you can eat outside and trees blossoming with flowers. It's just so homey and cute and cozy. And all of the books have that kind of theme, you know? Look at the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. It shows the front of the store, you know, like the little awning and the door. There is a cat involved in this book. It's very cute. And you can look in through the window and see some of the decorations inside the cafe. And it has autumn colored leaves falling everywhere, and it's just so pretty. All of the books kind of have that similar style. You know, even the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which is also kind of an autumn-themed seasonal book. You know, you still have the autumn leaves falling everywhere. You see the cat going into the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, because yes, the cat is involved in the second book too. And then the Christmas Tree Farm is so Christmassy, and yes, there is a dog involved in this book. And it has like the garland everywhere, and the Christmas trees, and the snow, so the vibes are so cozy and cute. And then the Gingerbread Bakery, which just came out, which I was going to get regardless of what the cover is very, very Christmassy. It is. Look at the garland and the trees and the wreath and all of the Christmas-themed baked goods in the window. And it's just so cute and cozy. Like, the main reason I picked these books up is because I love to read just such a variety of books, and a lot of the books I can read can get me down a little sometimes. There can be some dark themes in the books that I tend to read, but for good reason. You know, there's always a reason for those themes, and I think it's always good for me and other people to read those kinds of books. It expands your critical thinking skills and gets you to put yourself in the perspective of somebody else. And those books are very important to read, and I love reading them. But at the same time, all of us need something to be able to take our minds off of things, something that doesn't require a lot of emotional or mental labor, that you can just sit there and enjoy, maybe giggle at because it's a little silly or because it's just funny. And this series does that for me, and that's one of the reasons I love it. There are, to me personally, so many great things about the characters in these books. Like, the author of this series that I did forget to mention is Laurie Gilmore, says at the bottom of each of the books. Laurie Gilmore, to me, does do a very good job of making Hallmark-like books, but she also does a really good job for me in certain areas of character development. I think that it was so easy for me to get involved in these characters' lives and either relate to or just like, because I understood them, because she does such a good job of explaining it and giving them their own point of view chapters, and just overall showing how people can change if they want to, or, you know, maybe people are scared to try something, but it's good to do it even though you're scared. Like, it's good to be scared sometimes, and you can still do things while you're scared. So yes, this series is just very cutesy and seasonal and holiday themed, but to me there's also some really great attributes from the characters that she has created in this series. Yes, all of the couples are heterosexual, and they don't describe the race of the characters. Based on how cutesy everything is, I'm gonna guess they're white. I think that's a very safe assumption. And take that and do with it what you will, whether you read the series or not. I just think that if you're ever looking for a good series to just get into the holiday feel, this one's a good one to look at. I think it is. I genuinely enjoyed reading all of these books, and I actually read them all very quickly. I tend to read multiple books at the same time, and it all depends on the kind of book, like how fast I read it. These books I sped through because there's not a lot of mental or emotional work in it. It's just, you're just along for the ride. So I read each of these books in like a couple of days, honestly. Like the previous video I made about a book, Little Women, took me a couple of months to read. I read these in a couple of days. The whole series over a while, because this last book didn't come out until recently. And I think we need books of all varieties like this. And I would love to know if there's anyone out there watching this video, if there are other kinds of series like this, maybe from other cultures or other countries, because this is a very Americanized, like white culture, like very small town cutesy, like Hallmark movie. And I think there can be other books and that are very similar in taking your mind off of things and easygoing kind of books from other authors from other backgrounds. And so if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I would love to look up more kinds of books from that. I only found this series because I think I either saw it on Instagram first or saw it in the store first. I can't remember which one, but I see it in both everywhere. So I would love any suggestions for any kinds of more books like this series based on what I've described, because I love books that I can just sit there and enjoy and not have to think a lot. And this was that kind of series for me. So definitely let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for suggestions like that. I would love to hear from you. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I had to say for this week. I just wanted to introduce this series in case you hadn't heard about it and give my thoughts a little bit on it. I think it's a really good one to read. Such a quick, cute little series to read coming up into the cute seasonal holidays. But that being said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. It means so much to me. I've recently got to around, I think, 360 something subscribers, and that is so wild. I cannot believe I even got past 100 subscribers. So if you subscribe to my channel, thank you so much. I cannot wait to continue making content for you guys and continuing to grow my channel and seeing where this all goes. I love making content just for myself, but I love that you guys enjoy what I make as well. So thank you for sticking with me and checking out everything I have to offer. It means so, so much to me. You have no idea. There are exciting things coming up in my life that I have mentioned a little bit, and they're coming up pretty soon, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. It's all gonna be such a big new change, and stay tuned. I will be sharing that journey with you. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. It means a lot to me if you can share this with people who you think might like it. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.